This week's episode of the show is not brought to you by Grinds. Grinds, the pouch for your mouth that's not tobacco but coffee beans in the pouch for your mouth.
Grinds, 2.5 times caffeine, 50 milligrams. Grinds, for whenever you have things in your teeth and you're okay with it because you like coffee. Grinds, what you do on your best friends when you podcast. Because that's how, what?
Wait,
What?
That's only on our birthdays.
let's get to grinding. Hey everybody, I'm Dane Holland.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
And I'm Austin Tiny Sand.
Hi, Austin. We are Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. Last week, we had no sunshine and no rainbows because it was all sad experience at the Fanboy Expo in Knoxville. But this week, the sun's out, guns out, rainbows shining bright.
It's all rainbows and sunshine.
Rainbows, every bit of it, from just tip to teat. How's it? What's the
tip to tail?
Tip to tail?
Tip to tail.
Is that what it is?
Tail to tip.
But that's just front to back. That's not as much as
horn to hole.
I like horn to hole more.
That's just front to back again, too.
Horn to hole? Oh, I was thinking more of like a rhino horn to the rhino hole.
Tip to taint. From your
That's
nose,
the same.
From your nose tip to your taint.
I don't think that's the tip, though. I don't think that's the tip.
Ooh.
I like
Hoof to head.
hoof to head. Okay.
Hoof to head?
Yeah. Hoof to head, and I like hoof to head, and I do like horn to hole as well.
Yeah, it's like one word. Hoof to head.
Yeah, you need the alliteration no matter what. We want to talk about things that we've been enjoying in nerd culture ever since our experience with Fanboy Expo. Is Mando here? Did I just hear Mando?
I'm a bad man. I literally pulled out my phone to mute that. And then I proceeded not to mute that.
That's great. But it's such a good alert sound.
It is.
I don't know what sounds my phone makes, but if it did, I would want it to be the Mando sound.
I turned my phone's sound on the other day while we were out disc golfing, and it did go off, and it rang, and it scared me. Because that sound used to be my alarm sound.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is it the nuke going off noise? Or is it a different one?
No, it's just a ding, 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 ding.
Sound like Boomhauer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ding in the morning.
Kentucky, keep on shining. You ever seen that episode of King of the Hill where he was in a bluegrass band and Connie got in there sawing the fiddle?
I saw all of them.
That was a good one.
You know they're planning on rebooting it. I don't
They
know how
are.
I feel about it.
They are reboot. Well, it's not
It's
even
not a reboot. It's just a new season, right?
Yeah, it's just a new season.
Well, like they're having Bobby like all grown up and stuff.
yeah, good. He's probably still going to be
It's weird.
Probably still ain't going to be right.
I just
Well,
hope
no.
he's like a miniature Hank now. I think that'd be great.
I think from what I've seen, he's supposed to own like a restaurant or some kind of convenience store or something.
Okay.
He'll own some type of business.
Oh God, on his commercials. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I think I like the Propaniacs the best.
Oh, that's good.
Remember the boy that saved the pig?
I may want to watch this new season of The King of the Hill. I totally forgot how much I enjoyed that show until we're just now talking about it.
I mean, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
It may be good.
Two of the actors will not return. That's because that is Brittany Murphy. She was the voice of Luann.
She did.
She did. And Tom Petty was the voice of Lucky.
He did.
He did.
Oh, dang. Why aren't they going to be back on for the new season, though?
Oh, the characters might be there, but the actors and actresses.
Oh, they're dead. That's why.
They died.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good reason for them not to be back. I realized when I was making notes of things that I've been doing lately that I enjoyed, it's a lot of video games. I've been playing a lot of video games, and normally I only play one video game, which is pretty much Rocket League, and it was Overwatch, but we're talking Sunshine and Rainbows this week, so I'm not going to talk about Overwatch because I'm done with that game, like officially done with it. I haven't played it in a month, but I just recently downloaded a game called Exo Primal, and it was on Xbox Game Pass, and it just released, I think, on the 2 days ago, I think, the 14th or so. And it's like if somebody, like if a video game developer were drunk and one morning at like 3 a.m, they woke up in the middle of their night sweats and they were just like, what if Turok and Overwatch had a baby with Gundam? And then they just fell back asleep, and then they halfway remembered what they just kind of spurted out in the middle of the night the next morning. That's kind of what the game is. You're a person that goes to the future, and you're in this like mech suit. It's not giant like a Gundam. It's like if a Gundam were person-sized, just a little bit bigger. And
So like an exoskeleton.
An exoskeleton suit.
Like Iron Man style.
Just like Iron Man style. Bingo. Iron Man is an even better thing than Gundam to say in that moment whenever they were drunk. Gundam, it was Iron Man the whole time. But you're on a little team, and you're trying to get through these checkpoints of these hordes of dinosaurs that are coming out of just warp holes in the sky, and you're trying to defeat them faster than the other team. And then after that round is over, then you do a little escort match against the other team. But whoever won the first kind of race has a head start in the escort mission in the next thing. And then each exosuit has its own little abilities, and you can change which suit you're wearing for the match. Like you can kind of choose which one you want to wear and which abilities you have. It's cool, and it's free on Game Pass. I don't know if it's free otherwise. I haven't seen that. A lot of games now are free. It's just you got to pay for battle passes and stuff. But for this one, I think all the characters can be unlocked just by playing it, and it was actually pretty fun. The only downside is the hordes of dinosaurs and then the exosuits of your team members and the other team. Everything kind of blends in a little bit with the atmosphere when it's all going chaotic. But I'm sure as I play it more, I'll be able to distinguish things a little bit better.
So how does it compare to something like Anthem? Because Anthem is kind of a similar thing. I mean, we'll be honest here, Anthem kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, it blew, right? Because it was supposed to be a big deal, and then when it released, it was like nothing.
There was like no story, and what was there was uber repetitive, but the mech suits and the mechanics of those were awesome.
Gotcha.
And I will fight somebody over that.
Well, I mean, they made, whenever, I think Capcom is who has made this game, the Exo Primal game, and they may have seen what happened with Anthem and went, okay, well, the successful part was the suits, so we already kind of know what to do there. So let's just make a good game surrounding that. Let's throw dinosaurs into it. Why not?
The people in it are very realistic.
Yeah, the graphics are great. And there's actually, the writing is actually pretty funny, because even whenever you go into a match when you're playing against other people online, because I believe it's all against online people. I think there are some missions that are player versus environment, PvE, but I think most of it is PvP. But the missions I've played in PvP, after the mission is over with, there are cutscenes of the game of what's progressing in the storyline. So it's a cool way of mixing kind of this, playing the storyline of the game, the first, just a one-player game, but it's mixed in with the PvP as well. So you're getting to unlock more of the story as you play games online with other people. And I think that's a really cool way of blending the two, because a lot of times, like with Halo, in Halo, you've got the campaign and you've got online. Same thing with Call of Duty. You got the campaign, you got online. This one's blending the two, and I think that's pretty neat. Plus, it's brand new. It just came out. So I think the few qualms that I have with it, I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel the same way. And it's the kind of game that, I mean, they're going to constantly be updating it as people play. And hopefully a lot of people will come over from Overwatch to a game like this. So that way there's enough player base for them to actually justify spending the time and resources to continue to make it better. And I'm excited to get into a new game to where I'm not just playing Rocket League all the time.
Well, you also, whenever you had the game downloaded yesterday, it hadn't, you downloaded it as a pre-download, and then you actually had the release update for it. And the release update for it alone was like 49 gigabytes.
Yeah, it's pretty big, which I thought that I downloaded most of it with the pre-download thing, but I don't know how much that actually was. So I don't know how long it would have taken if I would have downloaded it all at once. But
that's like 7 of the games that I would play on there, but I only play old games that I never got a chance to play.
Yeah, that is a cool thing about Game Pass, is they've got games from Xbox 360, from the original Xbox. They've got all kinds of games on there.
They've got Nintendo 64 games on there because they had an Xbox release for the Nintendo 64 games, like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where nobody talks. It just has a bear that goes blur, 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 blur.
It
And
didn't have a
Those games were
voice?
fun though.
And he had no voice. You had to read along, and then Grunty, the main like bad guy / witch lady, that her voice the whole time she's reading her dialogue is just.
Feels like I'm playing it right now.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I just don't understand why they had to throw in these odd noises and they just didn't put in words. It was just like a weird allocation of resources.
Yeah, you're already recording these weird sounds. Just say the words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they had Goofy's vowel sounds for Banjo's voice. Like all of his vowel sounds just sounded like
Or?
Yeah, literally.
Or, yeah.
Or and that was him when he
That
fell
one?
down a hole.
Yeah.
Like if you fell down a hole and died, he would go. Oh!
Yeah, it was still a really fun game though.
Because it was a like an adventure platformer thing, kind of 3D platformer,
Yeah.
like Spyro, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
games of the sort.
Yeah, and then Tui was really cool because you got to turn your gun into not your gun, but you got to turn your bird into like a physical gun and get to aim and shoot things with the eggs.
Out of the bird?
Wow.
Yeah, because the bird would shoot eggs. That was like one of the ideas of the bird, and the other idea was giving you glide and flying capabilities. So you'd be able to get the bird to shoot eggs in the first game, but it was basically just you had to point your character towards where you were shooting. In the second game, they added a targeting system, so you could actually go into first-person shooter mode with the bird and shoot eggs at people that were, and you get all sorts of different variety of eggs depending on what you're killing while you're in bird mode.
Hey, we can't say the K word.
Well, it's killing.
Unaliving.
They were
Unaliving.
They were I was killing.
Don't get us canceled.
You're like, I was murdering people with bird eggs.
Well, I was murdering fictitious shaman monkeys.
Digital people.
Digital shaman monkeys.
Zeros and ones.
Yeah, that's all it was.
The other thing on Xbox, because all of this has been on Xbox so far that I've been playing because that's what's connected to in the living room. But there's a game that just came out that I haven't played yet, but I would like to. It's called Bramble. Tiny, have you seen anything about
No.
Bramble? Bramble is, it looks like a fairy tale, but like a Grimm fairy tale, like original Grimm stuff, to where it's actual scary and creepy, and you feel in danger because it looks like this little brother and sister that you play as. I believe you play as the little boy, and there's like a evil forest witch and a giant toad king, and it looks creepy as hell, but at the same time magical. And that's going to be one that we play very soon. And it just looks different. It looks very neat.
And if it hasn't happened by the time this episode's out, Carly, play Bramble.
Yes, she has told us many times to remind her to play Bramble.
So I too have been digging on a game recently.
Yes.
And it's an older game. It's been around for many a year. I've been playing a lot of Gmod to the uninitiated. Gary's
mod. Yeah.
And I've been playing on this server that is like a cop roleplay server. And you can choose to be a policeman or EMS or like life flight, or you can be the mayor, or you can be all sorts of criminals. And so I'll do one until I get aggravated, and then I'll do the other. Like I had a whole Heisenberg set up in this one building across from the police station because they'll never look over here. And I'm printing money and growing some plants and making some rock candy and just raking in the dough. And then the police come for some reason. I'm just making candy.
Yeah,
and
you're just
stuff,
hanging
man.
out.
You should
And they're like, your stuff are ours. And then I went and then I was the mayor after that.
That was your campaign speech the whole time. I was just in my basement making candy and growing flowers.
Yeah. And usually your stint as the mayor might last 30 minutes.
Somebody come eliminate you?
Everybody just wants to murk the mayor, and I don't
see.
know why. But me and my friend Mac were on there yesterday for like most of the day. He was the mayor for like 6 hours. Like it was some kind of a record. And we went and bought one of the buildings off to one side and made a club for gentlemen. And he was dancing, showing off his Mayusi, as you do.
Right.
And, the police would come in and we'd serve them, beverages because they couldn't have, stuff. They could only have like sodas and stuff while they were on duty. So we're serving them that, and we're getting up there and we're dancing on the little stage, and it was a good time. And we'd drive around and campaign. They liked him as the mayor so much that when somebody there was a hitman that put him on a no-kill list and would just murk off his opponents for free. He'd be like, "Hey, can you go take out so-and-so? He's getting kind of, whatever." It's like, "Yeah, I got you, boo."
So he had the mafia on his side.
Yeah, exactly. And then, it was great. So when he finally got, they kept not electing a new mayor until he was able to run again, because there's like a 10-minute cooldown when that happens.
To be resurrected.
Exactly. And then he and I went and robbed a bank.
Nice.
So it was a good time.
Gary's mod is basically taking all of the assets that are in the game. What, Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike, Source, Half-Life, and a couple others. But if you have Source, you have 99% of what you need.
Gotcha. And then you said it's a role-playing server, so
that one, yes.
All the assets are there, and it's up to the players to make sure that the game is going the way it's designed.
Exactly.
Basically. Okay. That's really cool. That's
it's the server / world built by the admins, so it can be anything. I mean, I was in a Romanian Hogwarts server, and I got kicked out because I only spoke English because I'm a dumb American. Initially, my goal was to go in there and troll, and then when I popped in and saw how great it was from the little spawn area, I was like, I just want to walk around because they did awesome here. And then he was like, in Romanian, "Do you speak Romanian?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "That's against the rules." And I'm like, "Man, can I just walk around for a couple minutes?" And he went, "Nah." And then I got banned.
Booted immediately.
I didn't even get kicked. I got banned.
Oh.
I was like, "Daggum, man. I didn't even get off of platform 9 3/4."
The idea of role-playing servers is a lot of fun because there are a lot of games that do that to where players can make their own servers. Like Minecraft has a bunch of those, to where in Minecraft you can make anything. And so a lot of people make these role-playing servers in that, to where the rules are you have to take on the role of the character in that world and don't break character, basically.
Yeah. And the great thing about this one, there's so many different jobs you can take that you can change your name, so you can be like 37 different characters.
Yeah.
So if you get tired of being a card thief, you can, be a city worker. I was a city worker a lot, and then I would get a murderous rage. I killed so many people. I mean, I unalived so many digital people as a city worker. They never saw it coming. It took a very long time for the police to catch me.
That adds a lot more replay value to a game, as opposed to just like, okay, well, you pick your class at the beginning, and now you play the rest of the game as this class of character. Like being able to, like you said, like, all right, I'm tired of doing this, I'm going to switch over to this. But you're still in the same game. You're in the same world. You just now get to hop the fence and be on this side of it now.
Exactly.
That's really cool. I have all those things because I think a while back you told me about some other games. Like there's one called Prop Hunt.
Yeah, Prop Hunt's fun.
Really popular. It's where one person is an inanimate object inside of a house, right?
It's like playing it as a kid, kind of. So one person is the hunter. You have to find the people.
Okay.
And then all the other people you're playing with, they run around and they can make themselves copies of different objects in the world. And so the whole goal is to not be caught.
Oh, it's tag.
Yeah, it's essentially tag or hide and seek.
Hide and seek, but you can morph into other things.
Yes.
So you're not a person.
And as, the hunter, you have different weapons, and your goal is to unalive the other players.
Yes.
But if you unalive something that's not a player, you hurt yourself, and you can end up unaliving yourself.
I was fixing to ask, why not just beat everything down until you hit a person? But that's how they went against that. That's cool.
Can you disguise yourself as an electrical socket?
They're in some maps. They have the stupidest things that you can disguise yourself as. Because there's this one we've played in. It's like an office, setting, and you can be a computer mouse. Do you realize how hard it is to find somebody being a computer mouse? And as the objects, you can still move. You can also put yourself in like turret mode. and
What is that?
where you're kind of stuck in one spot, but you can pivot.
Okay.
So that way you don't accidentally just like move 5 feet.
Yeah.
So if I'm hiding, I put myself in turret, and so I can kind of watch. And we have a rule that about every minute or so you have to throw out a taunt.
Okay, I was fixing to ask you, as the objects, as the people hiding, can you just stay still? Like,
Yes.
according to the game rules, you can just stay completely still the whole time.
Yeah.
And just be a thing.
I mean, there's no official rules, but
Yeah.
that's one of my group that
I
we
like
play
that.
with.
Yeah, that's cool.
That you have to throw out a taunt at least, every minute or so.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to do it if the guy's standing right in front of me.
Right.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
So my thought is you get a pass on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not in the same room with you, throw it out there. And because the sound is directional, so you get kind of an idea where they're at.
Cool.
And, you can still move around and become other objects as you go.
Cool.
My favorite is to be like a vending machine. They never think to check the vending machines.
That'd be one of the first things that I do.
You would think, but, if there's a line of like 20 of them and there's just this other one, because you can move them. So I'll move them from the middle and then stand in the middle.
Nice.
Because you would think there'd be somebody on the end.
On the end. Yeah.
That's just one tip.
That's fun.
Yep.
Is it something that, with Gary's mod, I feel like I've always been nervous that you have to do a lot of things to make the game work, but is it really just you hop into a server and you're playing the game?
You can hop into a server. Your computer, it takes a long time to hop into different servers because you have to download different assets.
Okay.
But you don't have to seek them out. It just does it automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can find different map packs, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
We had one that was the Serenity, from Firefly.
Yeah.
We had one that was a Little Sleezers. We've had just different random maps. One of them was like a haunted house with secret passages, and you just click. I want to get these. When everybody joins,
Gotcha.
You wait a couple minutes. Boom, there you go.
So if you're not the person making the server, it's fairly straightforward
Right.
as to how to get into a game.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it can be as difficult or as easy as you make it.
Gotcha.
And there's also a sandbox mode. So it's a big, just flat area with like this weird little arch thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just drop stuff in there. And usually, if we do that, we're just shoot 'em ups. We're
Mm-hmm.
like, I just want to drop this car and I'm going to drive around and this guy's going to shoot me.
But
it's just goofing around at that point. But
is the sandbox how you make your own? Like, if you wanted to make a level and make your own custom game, is that how you kind
I
of
would
do
assume.
that? Okay, because
but
that would
I've
be a lot
never
of fun.
done it.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it'd be fun to make your own little town, like make a paintball game. Like
Right.
make your own little city, and then
Well, some
do
servers
that.
allow you to spawn in props, like the cop roleplay one.
Mm-hmm.
We asked one of the admins that was there, and we're like, "Hey, as the mayor, can we like set up, a mayoral office because it's just a empty spawn area?" And he looked at us and he said, "Does it look like I give a shit?" And then he pieces out, and we took that as
Do whatever
do
you want.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick,
right.
Yeah, it's one of our sayings between me and Dane. Do what you want, just don't eat me. Do what you want, just don't eat me.
Yeah, one of my joys, because there's a lot of like little kids in there,
Yeah.
is when they come into the bar that we set up, we would ID people, and if they sounded like they were 6, I shot them in the face.
That's how
Good.
that's how you check ID appropriately.
Yeah, well, you have there was like a little passport thing as one of the items that you had for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I guess because it's a cop RP thing, so that you show your ID.
Yeah.
So they'd come in and because we operated that area, it's kind of like just a chill out, like safe space. So it was kind of like an unspoken rule with everybody in the server at that time.
Yeah.
And this probably 3-year-old kid comes in, and the mayor is up there doing a sexy dance. And I was like, "Can I see your ID?" And he's like, "Here." And I said, "I'm sorry, but you're under the age of 21, and this is a 21 and up only establishment. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And he said, "No." I said, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And then he said, "Do you have a gun? Because I want to shoot somebody, but not you." And I said, "No, I don't have a gun." I said, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." He didn't leave. Then I pulled out my shotgun and shot him in the face.
And he left.
And he left. It was perfect.
Yeah, he
And
not only
as he's leaving and respawning somewhere else, he goes, "I'm going to tell an admin." Meanwhile, the admin is standing next to me laughing.
Do you think I give a shit?
Yeah, yeah.
It's his only thing he's got programmed.
Yeah,
it's
like-
not even his voice. It's just an automatic response when anybody says
Yeah.
anything to his character.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that we did, I was playing a thief and I hooked up with a group of other thieves.
Huh?
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
Was
Yeah.
it an orgy?
No, not like that.
Oh.
So we're in this car. We're looking for cars to carjack.
You sure it wasn't like that?
You sure it wasn't an
We're
orgy?
looking for cars to acquire
Okay.
by
All right.
illegal means
I see.
in the game.
Gone in
Okay.
60 seconds. Got it.
Yes. And as we're driving, he flips on the Skyrim music. And this, I don't think he was actually Russian, but he did a really good Russian accent.
Yeah.
And his name is something that I can't say on the show, but it was Gucci Kitty.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
we called him Mr. Kitty because it was funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was not one to be trifled with. Also, he was an admin. So
Excellent.
we had admin on our side.
And this is one of those kinds of games to where the more people you know playing it, the more fun you're going to have.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I tend to either play games by myself or with one or two people. But I feel like if I had like a bunch of people that like to play games together, this would be the kind of thing. Because you got a little crew of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, what was there about four or five of you or so?
There's 4 to 6 of us at any
Okay,
given
cool.
time.
Cool. Yeah,
At
that's
the,
a
at the
good
very
size
least,
group.
there's 2.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah, that's a good group.
Yeah.
For playing something like that.
I've been-
Austin,
I've
what
been-
have you been doing?
I mean, I've been playing a video game, but it's just a phone game,
Yeah.
and
What's that?
it's just disc golf.
Oh yeah.
I've been killing some disc golf valley. I mean, the thing that I like the most about this little thumb-driven phone game is that you can learn actual disc flight patterns. You can learn what different weight variances on them can do. You can learn what different textures of them plastic-wise can do. I mean, it actually teaches you stuff. Like if the wind's blowing a specific direction, like you have to throw it correctly. Otherwise, it won't. It's a simulator.
It's a pretty decent simulator, yeah.
So
Of disc golf, and there's not many of those
no,
at all.
like there was one they had released for the PlayStation. Was it the PS Move or what was it called? I can't remember what it was.
PlayStation Connect? No,
Maybe.
that's Xbox. It was PlayStation Move. Yeah,
Was it
I
Move?
think that was the one with the little
Yeah.
wands.
Yeah.
I don't know. If there's a console that I have to get up and gyrate, I ain't
Not
playing
into it, yeah.
Not into it. I'm supposed to be lazy while I do this. I'll move my thumbs, not my hips.
I like the Wii, but I didn't like the Kinect.
See
It's too much like playing with a wiener.
the Move had a disc golf game that you actually could throw the disc the same way you would release and everything. Like you would hold on to it and you adjust your way your wrist was and everything would adjust the disc. You could throw hammer throws, thumbers. You could throw all sorts of different styles. But I don't know. I've been playing a lot of that, and that's about the only game that I've been playing aside from getting out and putting my feet on the ground and moving and touching grass and playing real disc golf.
Playing actual, yeah.
God dang,
lot.
We've been hitting it harder than when we did when we were kids.
I've played. There's an app called UDisc, and it's something if you ever get into disc golf, it's a great app to have. It's free. There's a pro version of it. It's like $1 a month.
Yes.
But
That's a lot.
it's so much, but it's so worth it.
$12 a year.
So worth it.
It is
I
worth
gave it all to him at once, just right at one time.
Whoa.
I know. I was just feeling loose and free with it.
God.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to be in
Imagine.
those shoes?
Imagine the massive stacks of cash to just throw out on something like that.
But you can keep your disc golf score on it, and you can add friends who also have the app. And people that don't have the app that are playing with you, you can log their scores, and it keeps a record of everything. And it keeps a record of everything
Yeah.
that you've done, that you've logged into it.
And it can even go even further than what we've gone with it. I mean, it can even track your, if you want to, you can use it to track your distances, track your flight patterns. You can do everything with that. Track your percentages of putts within circle 1 and circle 2.
Bless it. Bless it.
Ow.
It's specified distances from the basket that C1 and C2, circle 1, circle 2, where you're putting from. How many of your drives do you actually land on the fairway? How much OB are you hitting? The best thing that I like watching is my birdie percentage, because when I first started playing again this summer, my birdie percentage didn't exist on there. There were no birdie percentages to be had.
Right.
And I've gotten it up to 17%.
No, it's good. It's good.
So that's actually not as bad as it sounds, but
Yeah, I saw today because I went and played 9 holes before we recorded. Actually, asked if we record later because I was out playing. But it said that I've played 19 rounds of golf in the last 30 days. That's a lot. Like that's more than half of the days, and I've played disc golf, and it feels awesome because I'm actually getting outside and enjoying the weather.
I know you're getting a little brown like a biscuit.
I've been told the other day at work, somebody looked at me and they kind of stepped back a bit and they go, "You're golden." I was like,
Stay
am
golden,
I?
pony boy.
Yeah, like because I can't really tell that much, because it's been gradual and it's on my own skin. But I mean, if I raise up the old shorts a little bit,
Oh
you
my
boys
God.
can really see what an inside Dane looks like.
A little higher.
A little higher. We're getting there.
Ooh.
Oh, this is almost too hot for TV.
Oh,
But yeah, whenever they told me I was golden, I was like, "Hey, that's nice." But that just shows that I've been outside a lot, and I am wearing sunscreen and bug spray and bucket hat because Austin got me a bucket hat.
I was about to say you finally,
I finally got
got a bucket hat.
It took me 2 weeks from me going, "I want a bucket hat." And normally when I say I want something, by the next day it's in the mail because I have no patience for anything. But with the bucket hat, I was like, no, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to find one that I actually like and not one I'm going to spend $30, $40 on because that's way too much. It's ridiculous. And so for 2 weeks, I was like, I still don't have a bucket hat. While we were in Knoxville playing disc golf, we had meant to stop at Academy and a couple other places, but we didn't. So every time we would get anywhere, I'd be like, I still don't have a bucket hat. And then Austin one day got me a bucket hat. So I now have a reversible bucket hat.
yeah, he has a reversible bucket
Yeah.
hat. One side of it is just completely black. The other side of it, you flip it out, and it's like synthwave colors. It's pink and bright blue, and it's got like flip flops and ice cream cones and summer stuff.
That sounds like a Dane hat.
It's very Dane hat.
It's a
very Dane hat.
very Dane hat.
I wore that today, and it protected my everything up top.
And while
Yeah, you need to do that.
while we looked in Knoxville at different places, hell, we even went to Dick's, and while we were looking for bucket hats, we
It was the
kept.
biggest dick I've ever seen in my life.
It was a
huge.
2-story Dick.
Yeah.
But you
There was an
know,
elevator in it. It had an elbow.
and it. Oh my God.
And a playground.
Dane kept finding bucket hats, but he did not want to spend 40 doll hairs.
I really didn't.
You know how much I got that bucket hat for, Tiny?
7.
9 doll hairs.
I was very
you were very
close.
close. It was very close. Single digits though. So that was more of what I was looking for, but I just couldn't find it, and he found it. So
Because you're kind of sweating it so much,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it'd be nice to be able to reverse it at some point
Yeah,
too. So I can
and
do that.
Something that you don't like care a whole lot about, you know? Because if I spend like $45 on a hat, I'm going to baby that sucker, and I'm probably not going to wear it that much.
Yeah, you probably don't want to be in
You
the
know?
woods with it,
Yeah,
with
exactly.
with brambles and such.
Yeah, you're like, that's my expensive hat, you know? But cheaper one, you're like, well, I got snagged on a tree and a dog pooped on it.
Yeah.
I'll put it back on my
Those
head. I
are the
don't
ones
care.
that will never be ruined. They'll be
Yeah, they're
pristine
tanks
the
every time.
every single time.
It's just like Jeff Foxworthy with the old cheap sunglasses. Mm-hmm. You know, he's like, you can have a brand new expensive pair of sunglasses. You're going to scratch them or break them or lose them within 48 hours, he said. But you can be out on a cruise line out in the middle of the ocean and drop a pair of cheapos over the edge, and somebody who just so happens to be scuba diving near is going to say, "Hey, I found a pair of cheapos down here floating near the bottom. Did somebody drop them?" It's true. Like your cheap stuff, it doesn't seem to really. Maybe it doesn't matter as much.
I feel like the world itself rejects it.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, that could be it.
because it always comes back. Like my expensive Leatherman Wave, I've been looking for that sucker for probably 6 or 8 months.
what is that? What is a wave?
It's a multi-tool.
Oh, okay.
There's Leatherman has several different, I guess models
Mm-hmm.
is a good word for it. They have different tools in it, and mine was the Wave. Actually, the Wave Plus.
Ooh.
Plebs.
Yeah.
But I've misplaced it. But that Walmart one that I bought until I found the other one, I'm trying to lose it in the hopes that I'll find the other one because, you know, it's one of those like how they say it in Full Metal Alchemist. You know, the law of
Equivalent exchange?
Yeah, the law of equivalent
Are you?
exchange.
Hold on. Did you just quote anime?
Did you just anime me?
Honey,
I
what the
did.
hell?
What did you...
I kind of wanted to see what would happen.
Wait, did you have you been watching it?
I watched it at one point.
All of it?
Not all of
well,
it.
it's
no.
one of
But-
the...
but
it's
some
one
of it.
It's
I
a...
watched like 2 seasons.
It's a sad anime.
Whoa.
The Chimera
Those
episode.
Brotherhoods.
Ooh.
We're not talking about that one.
Let's
No,
talk about
no,
the
we don't
Chimera
talk about
episode.
No.
No.
Well, this
Okay,
is
no.
all
It's
rainbows.
Rainbow
Unicorns!
Sunshine.
Rainbows and unicorns. Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, no Chimera episode.
Punch you right in the
It just
taint.
brings
No.
me joy to know that Tiny has watched an anime.
Not
I
only
even
watched
referenced it.
but referenced it.
It is the law of equivalent exchange. And you could probably get frustrated and chuck that that cheapo Leatherman out into the middle of the lake, and then somebody's going to be out there magnet fishing and say, "Hey!"
I threw it in my backyard and it boomeranged back into my hand so hard it left a bruise.
It's
With no wind.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
wind.
The air was thick like loaded potato soup. And there was like a springy kind of like reverberative sound when it came back. And I was like, well, I guess I'm stuck with you.
I can't wait to see the transcript from this episode because the poetic nature of him describing the air being thick as potato soup.
Loaded potato soup.
Loaded.
There was cheese and bacon. I could feel the chunks in my fingers.
That's how you know it's loaded.
And this is all going to be done in post because Dane loves doing stuff in post.
Jesus, what are you going to make me do?
Just cricket sounds now. Cricket sounds.
Okay.
It was on that day I decided that I would get rid of that cheap Leatherman tool. I threw it into the backyard, but it just so happens that very day, I can't do it.
No, see,
No,
it was
I
better
don't
just Tiny's original one.
I just wanted
But
it.
I can do what you just said to do. But I can do it back when he was talking about it. I can
Yeah.
put
Yeah, that'd be
I can
fine.
put the
Yeah,
things.
it had like a lot of reverb, so it
Yeah.
sounded like
I
I'm in
just-
like a great hall or something.
You know,
or an old telephone. I can do the old telephone thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you want that? Like
No,
an
I'm
old
thinking-
radio?
I'm
An
thinking
old
like,
radio?
ooh, yeah.
Old radio?
Yeah,
Okay.
old radio, yeah.
With a
Dang
little bit of that bathroom tile style reverb.
I just wanted a southern gentleman kind of just reading.
Tiny
it.
is a Southern gentleman,
I am.
so it's already done.
Oh yeah, he even made
born
a
here and everything.
He even made a club for him in his game.
Yeah,
Yeah, for a Southern gentleman.
we did.
Southern
Me and
comfort,
the mayor.
Southern gentleman.
Welcome to Tiny's Southern Gentlemen's Club.
Well, no, it said Mayor's Blank Bar. Funded by
MFB?
taxpayers like you.
Is it MFB?
No,
Mayor's. Oh, MTB.
it was a S.
Sex?
No,
Is it sex?
Is it sex?
Stripper.
Oh, stripper's not a
is
bad
it?
word.
Oh,
It's a
that's okay.
It was adult themed, and I didn't want to.
unclothing.
Dane
Yeah.
once lived in a house called Granny's Fuck Palace. I mean,
I did.
Why? Did your grandmother live here?
No,
Was it
it
covered
was
in plastic.
It was
everything?
it was one of my best friends. His
grandmother.
grandmother was the neighbor, and she was the owner of this home as well. It was a family home, and he and I were living in it. So we always name our homes. Austin and I once had an apartment called the Penalty Box. Because it was a square single level apartment that was connected to a bunch of other 2-level apartments. It was the only single level one there, so we called it the Penalty Box because we also had a hockey mask on a mannequin head in there.
Yeah.
And we also would put that hockey mask on our head, and then we'd hit each other with kendo swords. What a time!
we did.
What a
used to-
time,
I
yeah.
forgot all about the kendo swords.
Oh yeah, that was part of why it was
Those
called the
things
Penalty.
hurt so
Penalty Box.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with a helmet
Especially
on.
shirtless across the nip.
Ooh, I never went that
I've done
far.
that. It was bad.
That's what you get for watching 90s wrestling.
Well, look, I don't yuck people's yums, so don't yuck mine.
No, I'm not yucking it.
I ain't-
I've never tried
I
it.
ain't yucking. I used to watch no holds barred matches, is what they were called. You had no holds barred. You had hardcore matches. Basically, it just ended up a kendo stick was coming out somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody was going to find one. Like, what do you do when you set up an arena? I like to put things in random spots that might be picked up for violence. So-
Just in case.
by God, he found a 2x4 nowhere near a construction site. Don't hit him. No, he's got a family.
I don't know, I just had that scene from Futurama pop up where they pull out the stick with like the rabid beaver or something stuck to it.
Ooh, speaking of wrestling, that's another game that I recently been playing. Oh man, what is it called? It's on the I got it on the Steam Deck. Hold on.
Stream wrestling.
Steam Deck wrestle game. Something fire wrestling. Something Fire Wrestling. What is it? What is it? Hold on. Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling is the game. And in it, I actually posted in another wrestling game subreddit. I was like, I'm considering getting this wrestling game, but I have an odd question. The way I like to play wrestling games is to not play them at all. I like to create characters and rosters and stables, which is little teams of people, and then I like to just watch them go. I like to just set up the matches and watch them go at it.
So
just
like
the AI
team owner kind of style.
Yeah, like a manager situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm managing the federation, and they're just going at it, and I'm getting to see the storylines unfold, and certain wrestlers that I didn't know that they were gonna be the superstars. Now they're winning every match, things like that. Because that's the way I've always played wrestling games. But I had asked this in the certain group. I was like, hey, can you do that with this game? And they're like, kinda, but the one that I think you're looking for is this. And it was Fire Pro Wrestling, which has actually been out since 2017. And it's 2D graphics, but it's pretty good, like shaded artwork and stuff. But you can customize every little thing possible with these characters that you can make. You make your own wrestlers in it. You make an entire roster if you want. And you can set up tournaments, and you can run it exactly the way I wanted to play a wrestling game. It is this game. And the first thing I did was create the Wolf's character that he always makes in games. Maggot is the name of that wrestler. He named him Maggot. And then I've got Detour, which is my wrestler, who he's a high flyer. And I made our two characters, and I just put them in a match against each other. I set the AI to just the hardest difficulty, and I didn't touch the controls. I just let both of the AI just go at it. And it was a 27-minute match that got a 98% positive rating from the crowd of the system in the game, because there's always a crowd response rating, like how good was the show that your two wrestlers put on. And it was a 98%, and I even unlocked an achievement for it.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. But it was so much fun to sit there and watch. And after it was over with, I was like, I just watched two AI like wrestlers in a video game fight each other for 27 minutes. That's ridiculous, but I had so much fun. And what we're going to do at some point is make an entire roster of characters and then have like a pay-per-view night to where he comes over and we throw it on the TV and watch the tournament. Like if it were an actual like WrestleMania or Forbidden Door or something like that. It's been a lot of fun.
If it was a 27-minute match.
Yeah.
And it got a 98% crowd rating.
It did.
Then there are 4 words and 2 words, depending on which wrestling commentator you are asking. If you're asking Jerry the King Lawler, he would have called it a knockdown dragout.
Okay.
If you are asking JR,
yes,
he would have called it a slobber knocker.
That was their like, this is the best you can get. That was their phrases.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
JR, it's a knockdown dragout. And then JR, my God, we got us a full-blown slobber knocker.
That's something that I wish you could do in the game. You can make referees. You can make custom referees. You can make belts, different rings, all kinds of stuff. But you can't make announcers, and that's something that I would love to do, is to be able to make announcer personalities and have them like comment or commentate on the whole thing. But I think that's another level that'd be something that we see kind of in the future with that, because I don't think you can do that in any of them. But it's great.
Well, I found something really cool, and it's kind of outside my wheelhouse.
Okay.
I mean, it's a series of books, but that's inside my wheelhouse. But the subject matter is outside my wheelhouse.
What would that be?
It is written by Keith C. Blackmore. It's the Mountain Man saga.
Okay.
It's a zombie apocalypse series, which, I'm not typically into. But the cool thing is the main character is just like an everyman, except he's Canadian. So there's that you have to contend with.
He's an every Northman.
Yeah, he's an every Northman. He was a house painter, and he had to do like a night job at, they call it the Molly Mart. I assume it's like a Walmart, in this made-up universe. They had to go like paint the office for some manager, and they had to get it done that night. And that night is when all hell breaks loose. That's when they see the first zombies, and they got to do the same to escape. And it just moves on through the series of him becoming increasingly more alcoholic yet badass at the same time.
Classic.
You know, as in, you know, able to dispatch of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it follows him from just being a dude that just painted walls to, you know, this post-apocalyptic badass. And it's just really cool to kind of watch it build.
Painting walls with zombie guts instead now.
Yeah.
See, that was where, because I read Abe Lincoln, Vampire Slayer.
Awesome book.
It was great, but I think the part about the book that I disliked the most were the kind of, I guess, zombie killing sequences.
There were vampires.
Where they're vampires. Yeah, it's in the freaking title of the book.
Yeah.
But anyway, the part of where he's killing the vampires is the part where it wasn't as interesting as the story around it.
Yeah.
Is that something similar in this?
This is interesting all the way around because they kind of go into it and it's more in his head and how he hates what he's doing.
Okay.
Which is what drives him to the alcoholism.
Gotcha.
Because he's in his head, there's still people, even though he also knows that they're zombies.
Yeah.
And it's him versus them. So he feels bad about it. And so that drives him to where he's at.
Gotcha.
So it's more of his internal struggle than just, all right, there's 6 zombies over there and I got to take them out.
Okay. That's cool. I'm glad that who wrote it?
Keith C. Blackmore.
Keith C. Blackmore. Okay. I like that because whenever authors like go into the details of the action sequences, it's just, I'm sure there are plenty of people who love that.
I mean, there
and
are
get really into it.
plenty of those style details, but it's balanced with the other.
Okay, that's good that there's actual balance in it. Because I remember whenever I was reading The Witcher, The Last Wish, I believe is the first book in that.
I believe so.
And the action sequences, I was like, these are getting kind of repetitive and kind of boring of explaining how the stances are and then the sword swings and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, at least make it different every time the way you're describing it to where it feels like a new experience.
Yeah,
as
broad
opposed
strokes.
to just as opposed to just kind of like, okay, you kind of copied and pasted and moved a couple words around. But
well, since I can't read, I really enjoyed Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I have him on audiobook.
Oh,
Not Slayer,
not Slayer.
but Hunter.
Was that what I was actually saying?
No, Slayer.
I was right.
I just kinda,
Slayer was the title of the book. Hunter
That's
was
what I
the
read.
title of
No,
the movie.
it was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Is
It's
it?
the exact same title.
Is it the same? Is it the book? The book is Hunter.
They're both Hunter, yes. I own the book
Is it?
and
Oh.
unfortunately the movie.
Let me see. Yeah, the movie was not very good.
I enjoyed it.
The movie was hot, stinking, fecal ass.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I go into movies just to see if it can entertain me. I don't go into it to critique it or give it any kind of notes. If so, I wouldn't made it past the horse scene when they were on the back of the horses that all looked like they were just. Well, honestly, the Flash movie here recently did the exact same kind of animation. It looked the exact same, and the Vampire Hunter came out in like 2012, 2013, something like that.
I didn't want to see it after watching the trailer. Really, when the shotgun was embedded in the handle of the axe.
Yeah, the main Chekhov's gun of the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did enjoy it. I also enjoyed the whole silver collection of silver, which actually happened in U.S. history with them collecting silver in order to fund the war for the.
Well, the cool thing about the book, it was a whole bunch of true historical facts
twisted into a fantasy take
but
on it.
Sub terrible people for vampires.
Yes,
Right.
Plantation owners and all that such. It just so happens that they have livestock for real.
Right. Yeah, so it was like there was justification beyond just them being vampires for murdering them, which is usually something that's used to make the reader like sympathize with the fact that there is murders going on. It's like, well, they were bad, plus they're monsters. It's the whole like, okay, they're monsters as people and they're monsters as monsters. And that's pretty classic.
And Abe Lincoln really did have a sickly child who died young, at a young age, and it showed that child in the movie, or it might have in the book. I can't read, but it talked about the vampires were seeking revenge on Abe for being as he was, and they turned him in the movie and gave him vampirism, which killed him.
Well, in the book,
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Abe gets hurt because of, the assassination. Well, Henry is standing over him because they become best friends, even though Henry's a vampire.
Yes.
He was like his mentor. He trained him. And in the book, Henry could do damage to his kind. Fuck that in the movie.
Yeah,
It's
that
the
was the-
dumbest thing ever.
That was weird, but
It was stupid.
It was
but
oversimplification for the sake of just moving on.
yeah, probably.
That's all it was.
But anyway, so he's standing over his best friend, Abe, and he's like, I can save him. I have the power to do so. But Abe, since his family was killed by the vampires, had that seething hatred, and ultimately Henry did save Abe, and they continued their work. And at the end of the book, they're actually sitting in like a little bar, diner thing. I don't remember exactly the business type.
Hold on
It's
a minute.
him and...
Are you telling me that Abe becomes a vampire at the end of the book?
Yes.
Spoiler
also
alert.
vampire hunter, just like Henry.
That's such a better ending than the movie.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
said, the movie's garbage.
Yep.
Like the book was pretty good.
Yeah.
God,
And
I
he-
wish I could read.
One day.
And he's sitting there with Henry and Martin Luther King Jr. And
Yeah,
they're
so-
just kind of watching people out in the Capitol.
Cool historical fiction fantasy.
Yep.
It's neat.
Wow.
Maybe
really
I'll
neat.
maybe I'll buy you the audiobook so you can
Now,
you can read it that
Yeah.
way.
I can
with your
listen.
ears.
You can listen.
I can listen.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk to Marcus?
I like Marcus. Where
Sure.
is
Why
he?
Let's
not?
find out what Marcus has been doing. He's in the middle. He's covered horn to hoof, horn to hole, hoof to hole, hoof head,
Horn to hole.
horn to hole. He's covered horn to hole in homework. So he couldn't be here today, but let's give him a call and let's check and see within the small gaps of time he has of things that he doesn't want to do. Let's see if he's been doing anything that he enjoys. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe just being a dad is the answer, but that's okay.
Well, hello.
Who is this?
I am Electric Man.
Have you?
Oh.
Excellent. What's up, dude?
Oh, just taking a much needed break.
Excellent. I'm glad that you are.
Not from you guys. Not from you guys.
No. I was like, okay, are you going to
Sure,
hang up
whatever.
already?
No.
Good to see you too, Marcus.
We can see you in our minds.
Yeah, I'm picturing you all right now.
We're not wearing anything, are we?
No. I'm wearing Crocs and a smile.
So what we've been talking about the whole time is rainbows and sunshine, as in like what things have we been enjoying since our awful experience of going to Fanboy Knoxville.
Yeah, which I still haven't got all the details on. I guess I'll have to listen to this episode. Or the previous one. Sorry, the previous one.
Yeah, you'll get every bit of info out of that thing. I'm so glad that you didn't come with us. Like the
Yeah.
fewer people to experience
Me too
that,
now.
the better.
The fewer people that wasted their money, the better.
Ugh.
No, I'm pissed that you didn't come with us. You have the best angry face out of all of us. You look like Wolverine.
True, them like pointy eyebrow thing that he does. Yeah, it's hard.
Jealous of
You,
it.
you forget who your actual voice is supposed to be, and you get in a character voice, and you just can't stop. Tell me, wench, where might I find water?
Did your ass just say squirrel?
Yeah, that was weird.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
That's very weird.
I heard it over my headphones.
Yeah, it was a loud one. I'm sorry.
Austin just farted the word squirrel. What have you been in between those moments of doing all the shit that you have to do that you don't want to be doing? Have you been enjoying anything, like a game or a movie or a show or anything, a book?
So, yeah, I just kind of popped in Assassin's Creed Odyssey again for some reason. I don't know.
Interesting.
Something about the arcadiness of it. Also, something about just that beautiful ancient Greek map that is just cool. There's something very cool about that game,
Oh yeah,
despite all of its haters, because there's a lot of people that don't really like that game.
yeah. They've made a bunch of them, and I think there's going to be another one probably out within this year. I think.
Yeah,
up in-
Mirage is coming out.
Mirage. At what point are they in history with that one?
I don't know
You know?
exactly which point. I know it takes place in, I think, Iran or Iraq. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the Middle East. I'm not sure the time period though, but it's supposed to kind of go back to more of the roots of that series. might kind of be more stealth based. Whereas the ones I like are like the full fledged like RPGs that they make. So they've kind of branched out into two different kind of categories of games. They've made so many of those.
Oh yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed the first one. Everybody loved the second one, but I think by maybe the fourth one, which I don't know if that was Black Flag or Odyssey or what.
Yeah, fourth one was Black Flag because you had the Altair one is the first one, then the Ezio trilogy is number 2, and then 3 was the Native American, and then 4 was Black Flag with Pirate Boy. That wasn't really an assassin, but also an assassin.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think ever since Black Flag, a lot of people have been kind of falling off the series just because there's been so many of them. But I haven't played Odyssey, and that one looked really good. And you're playing it on what, PS4?
Yeah.
And it still looks great?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for me, it's not necessarily all about the graphics as it is more so on the art style.
Oh, yeah.
Which they kind of play it pretty safe with the art style. But I don't know. It's not gonna. I don't know. It's kept my attention somehow. I think just something about how big and bloated it is, and definitely the historical draw. I mean, like just being able to climb like the statue of Athena in Athens and jump off of it. Like there's just something satisfying about that. Even though the map's not to scale or anything. Yeah, it still just kind of makes you feel like you're running around in that time period.
And speaking of things that bring us joy, I'm glad that you're on the phone with us. Have you seen, how do you feel about the new release of the yellow suit Wolverine pictures from Deadpool?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh no. My gosh.
Spoiler, though.
Oh,
Spoiler.
Marcus, allow me to send you a picture.
It is confirmed, and they've got some action shots of him in the yellow suit. And
it's Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman, yes.
Oh, yeah. It's been announced that he was in Deadpool, because that's like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in a like little commercial thing with each other. I think Ryan Reynolds
I saw that. I think I did see that.
Yeah. So it's been confirmed that he was going to be in it for a while. But did you just receive the image? Because I know I did.
Sent it to our group chat.
Oh, no. Did I hang up on him?
I feel like you might have.
I think I hung up on him.
Oh,
hold, please.
Holding.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Is he not going to answer me?
Your call has been forwarded...
I think I accidentally put my phone in airplane mode trying to look at that picture.
Okay, because I thought I hung up on you. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Aside from the Milwaukee and the DeWalt logos, that's the real stuff.
Okay. I mean, it looks good. I'll wait till the movie comes out to give my full thoughts, I guess. I haven't had time to process it.
Yeah, because in post, they can also make it look a little bit different, too.
Yeah.
They can pull off that Milwaukee DeWalt stuff.
Yeah, and make it really look like it's there.
Yeah.
I bet that something that you love about that Assassin's Creed game is kind of the freedom to roam, because you don't really have that.
Right.
It is an escape.
Yeah, the map's huge. There's areas I still haven't been to, and I'm probably over 200 hours into it.
Good.
Wow.
That's the way I've played Zelda. Like, I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still on the other one. What is it?
Mm-hmm. Some people don't like that about those games, and I get it. But at the same time, there is something that makes it like I don't have to replay it. I've already beat the game, but now I can just like, I haven't played in a while. Let me go find that island I never found.
Just roam around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
That's the one. That's the one that I've been playing for hours and hours and hours, and I've not gotten anywhere in the story just because I enjoy just looking at a mountaintop and going, I'm going to climb that. And then I do it. And then I feel like I've won the game.
Tears of the Kingdom looks like a big old stress ball to me. Every time I watch somebody play it, I'm just there's so much you can do and so many options of what you can do and so many ways you can screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, and I can't read, so it's all just clicking pictures and hoping for the best.
Speaking of Zelda, Marcus, we need to get you a handheld gaming system. I feel like that would fit your lifestyle right now, because you're always having to do something somewhere with something, and I feel like if you just had the power to sit on the toilet and play the game that you want to play, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, just roll the cart in there with the television on it. Go out and take a smoke
Middle
break.
school style.
Yeah, yeah. You roll the television cart in there. You put a movie on. You go take you a smoke break. Play a video game.
Well, I do enjoy playing Ball Blast while I take poops, actually.
And that's not even a game. That's
That's an adventure.
That's just when you try to squeeze hard enough that it hits the back.
I knew I was putting that one on a tee for you guys.
we knocked it out. You're
it was
welcome.
a sweet tea.
Oh, drink it up, baby.
Yeah, why?
What? Did you say why?
Hmm?
Uh,
I wasn't talking to y'all, sorry.
Oh, okay. Thanks, dude.
All right, dude. See y'all.
All right, man.
Love
Bye.
you.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
In
Bye.
the butt.
Thank you all for enjoying the rainbows and the sunshine and the unicorns with us this week. It's such a lighter, just a nice feeling compared to the hot, heavy, sweaty, bad time last week. Wherever you listen to us, there are 5 grapes. And if you click the 5th grape and all of them light up and then you say something nice, we might win a prize. I don't know. If enough of it happens, maybe we do. There's only one way to find out, and it's up to you. And then you can click on a thing in the description. It's a website. It's Teespring, I think, now. Is that what it is? Or Redbubble? Redbubble's the one now. Teespring, that's a thing of the past. It still exists, I'm sure. But Redbubble's that new hotness. Go there. Buy a T-shirt or a sticker or something. Like, do that, and then we might also win a prize there. If you're not doing any of this, you're keeping us from winning all these prizes that I've not been told about.
Whoa.
Yeah,
There's prizes to be
maybe.
had?
I don't know. No one told me there wasn't.
And
Well, it's true.
if you'd like to speak with us a little bit, you can find us on our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter pages by looking up at Nerd Grapevine. While there, you can let me know when you want to go throw some discs with myself and Dane. We might get Tiny out there and let him chuck a few. I've actually found a man that is a similar build to Tiny that has a specific kind of throwing style that I'm going to show him that is absolutely awesome. He doesn't have to do all the movements that we do to get the same kind of torque. It is epic. So it would be very cool to get out and throw with everybody, get outside and, touch some grass with you. Also, if you'd like to donate a little bit of money to the cause, get on Patreon. Donate at least $5 pocket dollars, and you will get a shiny holographic Nerd at the Grapevine sticker. You will be able to unlock future content that we have not released. I mean, you will be supporting us, and you support us by your listens. Support us with your wallet as well. It's one of those things from playing live music that I developed this kind of funny thing that I said, don't say it with your cheers, say it with your wallet. But that's kind of funny, and also makes me sound like a dick. But anyway,
gross.
don't sound like a dick to people about this kind of stuff, because if you do, they're probably going to get mad at you, and it's going to cause them a little bit of.
What if their name's Richard and they carry their money in a pocket sock? Did you
Have
ever
you
think
even
of
thought
that?
of that? Yeah, have
Did
you even thought
think
of that?
There's people that do that.
That's
rude.
There is
I
literally
use an Argyle.
there really is a man named Richard that has a pocket sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know him. He's a grape.
Yeah.
I hadn't. Good Lord.
See what you've done?
Cock-a-doodle do me, man.
Yep.
I know. I use an Argyle sock. But anyway, that's beside the point. Find us on Discord. There's a link in the description. You can get on there and swap some memes with us. Just vote on random polls. We've done that once. Maybe we'll do it again.
Sure.
The Skullets are coming along well. Wink. And we're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised. Also, we're kind of on YouTube.
Yeah.
So go over there. Throw us a sub. Why not?
Or a Dom, whichever you're into. It
Yeah,
doesn't
whatever
matter.
you're into. Meatball sub or meatball Dom. Maybe one day we'll have some videos on there. Who knows?
If there's a subscribe, there should be a dom-scribe.
Absolutely.
Because subscribe,
Well-
you're going to watch what we do because you're just going to be submissive to everything happening. And a dom-scribe is you get on there and you tell us what to do.
True. Well, there's also the little known switch scribe where you just kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah. That's the premium subscription.
That has too many guidelines you got to get into before the start of every episode.
True.
Connie,
Yeah.
what shall you do when life bestows upon you a big, fat, purple set of grapes?
Okay, well, I'll take them and I'll put them in a large wok-style pot, and I will cook them up till they're nice and browned, and then I'll pound them and grind them up and put them in a little pouch that I'll then shove in my ass.
Excellent. So it's more like a slow release of flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that. It's really good.
Yeah, and then maybe you can start burping and it'll start tasting like grapes, even though you didn't consume them with your north mouth.
Exactly. They're connected via tube. It's just one
They go
tube.
with your steak tube, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the steak tube, the yogurt tube, they both go to the same south tube.
exactly.
You got your north mouth, you got your south mouth.
Oh, boy. We've been talking out of our south mouths for the last hour. Bye.
The air was thick like loaded potato soup. And there was like a springy kind of like reverberative sound when it came back. And I was like, well, I guess I'm stuck with you.